From a flicker of candlelight in 1789 to the glare of modern screens in the West Wing, every president has held the pen. Executive orders not passed by Congress, but etched into law by command. Some shaped history. Some sparked controversy. Others were forgotten. Until now. This is where we break them down. Every signature, every shift in power, every consequence still felt today. From Washington to Biden, welcome to Executive Order Watch.
Democracy, we live for it. For democracy, we fight for it. For democracy, we've died for it. And for democracy, we watch it. This is Executive Order Watch.
My fellow Americans, 1950 was a year that changed the course of history, not just for our nation, but for the entire world. We were 5 years removed from the end of the greatest war mankind had ever seen. We had hoped that peace would hold, that diplomacy would prevail, that freedom could be secured without another shot fired. But in June of that year, communist forces from North Korea crossed the 38th parallel and launched a brutal invasion of South Korea. Overnight, the Cold War turned hot. We did not hesitate. Under the banner of the United Nations, I authorized American forces to defend freedom on the Korean Peninsula. We did not go there for conquest. We went there to resist aggression. We went there because appeasement had already cost the world too much. It was not an easy decision. War never is. Back home, we faced deep uncertainty. Families feared a wider conflict. Industry was asked to shift once again toward defense production, and Americans across the nation braced for what might come. It wasn't just the war abroad. We faced tensions here, too. The threat of communist infiltration, both real and imagined, grew louder. I worked to ensure our government could remain vigilant, but also fair. I did not believe in show trials or witch hunts. I believed in law, in justice, and in the Constitution. At the same time, the American economy was still recovering from post-war inflation and labor unrest. Federal workers deserved stability. Veterans needed care, and our territories required the same attention and dignity as any other part of this union. In response, I used the tools available to me, including the executive order. Some were issued to mobilize production, protect national security, and coordinate our response to Korea. Others were meant to manage our government better, to ensure civil servants were treated with fairness, to advance civil rights even in quiet ways, and to strengthen the backbone of American infrastructure. I signed orders that helped us secure the tools of defense, strengthen our diplomacy, and better govern during a time of uncertainty. These weren't always headline makers, but they mattered. These are those orders. Through every challenge, I governed with one guiding principle, that the presidency is not a place for fear, but for leadership, not for self-interest, but for the greater good. History will judge us as it should, but I hope it remembers that in 1950, when the world turned once again toward danger, America stood firm. Thank you. And may we continue to lead with courage, no matter the storm. Executive Orders, Executive Order 10,095, Establishment of the President's Water Resources Policy Commission, signed January 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,096, providing for a uniform patent policy for the government with respect to inventions made by government employees, signed January 23, 1950. Executive Order 10,097, designating the Honorable A. Cecil Snyder as acting judge of the United States District Court for Puerto Rico, signed January 24, 1950. Executive Order 10,098, amendment of EO 10,084, Career Compensation Act regulations, signed January 25, 1950. Executive Order 10,099, providing for the administration of the Mutual Defense Assistance Act of 1949, signed January 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,100, regulations relating to the granting of certain allowances by the Director of Central Intelligence, signed January 28, 1950. Executive Order 10101, amendment of EO 9746 of July 1, 1946, relating to the Panama Canal, signed January 31, 1950. Executive Order 10,102, transfer of business operations from the Panama Canal to Panama Railroad Company, signed January 31, 1950. Executive Order 10,103, amendment of EO 9721, transfers to public international organizations, signed February 1, 1950. Executive Order 10,104, defining vital military and naval installations requiring protection from information dissemination, signed February 1, 1950. Executive Order 10,105, creating an emergency board for Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroad dispute, signed February 4, 1950. Executive Order 10,106, Board of Inquiry on the Bituminous Coal Industry Labor Dispute, signed February 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,107, revocation of EO 8,232, Panama Canal Zone Control, signed February 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,108, designating U.S. mission to the United Nations and providing administration, signed February 9, 1950. Executive Order 10,109, Emergency Board for Texas and Pacific Railway Employee Dispute, signed February 10, 1950. Executive Order 10,110, President's Communications Policy Board, signed February 17, 1950. Executive Order 10,111, establishing a seal for the Central Intelligence Agency, signed February 17, 1950. Executive Order 10,112, Emergency Board for Multiple Carriers Disputes, signed February 24, 1950. Executive Order 10,113, delegating authority to prescribe clothing/cash allowances for enlisted forces, signed February 24, 1950. Executive Order 10,114, Emergency Board for Terminal Railroad Association of St. Louis Dispute, signed March 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,115, restoring military reserved land to Hawaii jurisdiction, signed March 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,116, amending Selective Service Regulations and Executive Order 9,988, Paragraph 2, signed March 9, 1950. Executive Order 10,117, Emergency Board for Western Carriers Dispute, signed March 20, 1950. Executive Order 10,118, further amendment of EO 10,084, Career Compensation, signed March 20th, 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,119, Regulations Governing Subsistence Allowances for Uniformed Services, signed March 27, 1950. Executive Order 10120, Emergency Board for Eastern, Western, Southeastern Carriers Dispute, signed April 11, 1950. Executive Order 10121, transferring airport land title to Territory of Hawaii, signed April 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,122, Regulations on Disability Retirement, Hospitalization, Reexamination, signed April 14, 1950. Executive Order 10,123, revocation of 9,635 and EO 9904, signed April 20, 1950. Executive Order 10,124, election regulations for retirement pay of uniformed service members, signed April 20, 25, 1950. Executive Order 10,125, Emergency Board for Chicago and Illinois Midland Railway Dispute, signed April 26, 1950. Executive Order 10,126, establishing an airspace reservation over portions of D.C., signed May 9, 1950. Executive Order 10,127, establishing airspace reservations over atomic energy facilities, signed May 23, 1950. Executive Order 10,128, Amendment to National Capital Housing Authority appointments, signed June 2, 1950. Executive Order 10,129, establishing the President's Commission on Migratory Labor, signed June 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,130, Emergency Board for Boston and Albany Railroad Company Dispute, signed June 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,131, Investigation Reporting on Displaced Persons and German Ethnic Immigration, signed June 16, 1950. Executive Order 10,132, Inspection of Certain Tax Returns by Senate Special Committee on Crime in Interstate Commerce, signed June 17, 1950. Executive Order 10,133, designating the Organization for European Economic Cooperation as a public international organization with privileges, signed June 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,134, further extension of Quetico Superior Committee, signed June 28, 1950. Executive Order 10,135, extension of suspension of 8-hour law for Army Air Force Public Works, signed June 30, 1950. Executive Order 10,136, further amendment of EO 10,084 compensation regulations, signed June 30, 1950. Executive Order 10,137, amending EO 10,077, Guam Administration Transfer to Interior Department, signed June 30, 1950. Executive Order 10,138, Emergency Board for Toledo, Lorain, and Fairport Dock Company Dispute, signed July 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,139, Emergency Board for Toledo Lakefront Dock Company Dispute, signed July 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,140, Emergency Board for Pullman Company Dispute, signed July 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,141, Control of Transportation System of Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railroad Company, signed July 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,142, Emergency Board for Braniff Airways Dispute, signed July 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,143, Appointment of Ruth Edna McSee. Summers Without Civil Service Compliance, signed July 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,144, Emergency Board for Terminal Railroad Association, signed July 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,145, Extension of Enlistments in U.S. Armed Forces, signed July 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,146, Exemption of William J. Patterson from Retirement for Age, signed August 2, 1950. Executive Order 10,147, Emergency Board for New York Central Railroad Dispute, signed August 4, 1950. Executive Order 10,148, Acting Secretary of Commerce Designations, signed August 5, 1950. Executive Order 10,149, Suspending Limitations on Punishments under Articles of War 58 to 86, signed August 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,150, Emergency Board for Atlantic and East Carolina Railway Dispute, signed August 11, 1950. Executive Order 10,151, Exemption of William D. Hassett from retirement for age, signed August 1, 1950. Executive Order 10,152, Regulations on Incentive Pay for Hazardous Duty and Uniformed Services, signed August 17, 1950. Executive Order 10,153, Travel Time Regulations for Active Duty Service Members over 30 days, signed August 17, 1950. Executive Order 10,154, Designation of Post Office Officers to act as Postmaster General, signed August 22, 1950. Executive Order 10,155, Possession, Control, Operation of Certain Railroads by Government, signed August 25, 1950. Executive Order 10,156, Designation of Interior Department Acting Officers, signed August 26, 1950. Executive Order 10,157, Enabling Employees to Acquire Competitive Status, signed August 28, 1950. Executive Order 10,158, Further Amendment of EO 10,084, signed August 31, 1950. Executive Order 10,159, Providing for Administration of the Act for International Development, signed September 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,160, Preservation of Records under Defense Production Act, signed September 9, 1950. Executive Order 10,161, Delegating Functions under Defense Production Act, signed September 9, 1950. Executive Order 10,162, Appointment of Frederick C. Kilgus without civil service compliance in DOJ, signed September 19, 1950. Executive Order 10,163, Establishing the Armed Forces Reserve Medal, signed September 25, 1950. Executive Order 10,164, Extension of Coast Guard Enlistments, signed September 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,165, Emergency Board for Railway Express Agency Dispute, signed October 3, 1950. Executive Order 10,166, Establishing National Advisory Committee on Selection of Medical Dental Allied Specialists, signed October 4, 1950. Executive Order 10,167, Amendments to Selective Service Regulations, signed October 11, 1950. Executive Order 10,168, Regulations for Foreign Sea Duty Pay, signed October 11, 1950. Executive Order 10,169, Establishing National Advisory Committee Mobilization Policy, signed October 11, 1950. Executive Order 10,170, Amendment of EO 10,082, Reciprocal Trade Agreements Program Procedures, signed October 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,171, Transferring Occupation Functions in Austria to Department of State, signed October 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,172, Certifying Authority for Emergency Facilities Amortization, signed October 12, 1950. Executive Order 10,173, Regulations for Safeguarding Vessels, Harbors, Ports, Waterfront Facilities, signed October 18, 1950. Executive Order 10,174, Further Amendment of EO 10,084, signed October 23, 1950. Executive Order 10,175, Amendment of EO 7908 and EO 10,046, Land Transfers, Public Lands, signed October 25, 1950. Executive Order 10,176, suspending Canal Zone employment statutory provisions, signed October 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,177, amendment of travel allowance regulations for employees abroad, signed October 27, 1950. Executive Order 10,178, reserving certain Guam property for U.S. use, signed October 30, 1950. Executive Order 10,179, establishing the Korean Service Medal, signed November 8, 1950. Executive Order 10,180, establishing special personnel procedures in interest of national defense, signed November 13, 1950. Executive Order 10,181, delegating budget authority for agency defense-related programs, signed November 20th, 1950. Executive Order 10,182, appointments and exemptions under Defense Production Act, signed November 21st, 1950. Executive Order 10,183, changes to internal revenue collection districts in New York State, signed November 21st, 1950. Executive Order 10,184, transferring Arecibo Coast Guard Lighthouse Reservation land to Puerto Rico, signed November 24, 1950. Executive Order 10,185, amendment of EO 10,166, Committee on Specialists, signed December 1, 1950. Executive Order 10,186, establishing the Federal Civil Defense Administration, signed December 1st, 1950. Executive Order 10,187, amendment of EO 1011, Foreign Duty Allowances, signed December 4th, 1950. Executive Order 10,188, acting judge designation for Puerto Rico District Court, signed December 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,189, amendment of Distinguished Flying Cross Award regulations, signed December 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,190, regulations relating to new trials by courts-martial in Navy Coast Guard, signed December 6, 1950. Executive Order 10,191, extension of trust periods on Indian lands, expiring 1951, signed December 13, 1950. Executive Order 10,192, amendment to EO 10,129, Migratory Labor Commission, signed December 15, 1950. Executive Order 10,193, providing for government mobilization effort conduct, signed December 16, 1950. Executive Order 10,194, establishing the Federal Safety Council, signed December 19, 1950. Executive Order 10,195, designating Korea and adjacent waters as a combat zone, signed December 20, 1950. Executive Order 10,196, amendment of EO 9,805, travel transportation expense rules, signed December 20th, 1950. Executive Order 10,197, security control over aircraft in flight, Commerce Secretary, signed December 20th, 1950. Executive Order 10,198, exemption of Paul A. Walker from retirement for age, signed December 21st, 1950. Executive Order 10,199, authorizing Agriculture Secretary to make marketing regulation rules without President approval, signed December 21st, 1950.
Good evening.
Pizza, where we deliver happiness one slice at a time. What's your craving today?
Yeah, hi. Is Seymour there?
Oh, Seymour. I think he might be busy making our special pies. But hey, why not swing by the pizzeria? We've got a pie with your name on it. Anything else I can help you with?
I was looking for Seymour Butts.
Ah, I see. Well, if you're looking for Seymour Butts, he might be hiding behind a pepperoni slice. Anything else I can do for you today?
No, that's it.
Hi, I'm Terrence, a marketing professional with a passion for helping your business grow smarter and faster. Here at Da Bomb Digital Media, based right here in Atlanta, Georgia, we specialize in bringing your vision to life. Whether you're launching your first website or reimagining your entire digital presence, we've got you covered. From modern website design and search engine optimization to setting up your own AI-powered agency tools, we deliver innovative solutions that keep you ahead of the curve. Ready to unlock your business's full potential? Let's build something remarkable together. For more information, visit our YouTube channel. Just search Da Bomb Digital Media on YouTube and start exploring tips, success stories, and everything you need to elevate your brand.
1950.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Tonight we reflect on a pivotal year in our nation's history, 1950, a time of monumental transformation, both at home and across the globe. President Harry S. Truman stood at the helm of this transformation, guiding America through one of the most intense and uncertain periods of the 20th century. The Second World War had ended just 5 years earlier, but the post-war world was rapidly evolving and new threats were already taking shape. The Cold War was heating up. In June of 1950, the Korean War erupted as North Korean forces crossed the 38th parallel into South Korea. Truman acted decisively, committing American troops under the flag of the United Nations to defend democracy in East Asia. This marked one of the first major military confrontations of the Cold War and began a precedent for American involvement in global conflicts that persists today. Domestically, Truman was confronted with labor unrest, civil defense concerns, inflation, and the challenges of managing a rapidly growing federal government. Through this turbulence, his pen never rested. In 1950 alone, President Truman issued nearly 100 executive orders. These weren't symbolic gestures, they were tools to navigate an unstable world and protect American life, liberty, and opportunity. Let me highlight 10 executive orders from 1950 that, to this day, continue to shape our policy, military structure, and civil systems. Top 10 executive orders of 1950, OE 1096, Uniform Patent Policy for Government Employees. This order set a foundational standard for government-owned inventions, encouraging innovation within federal agencies. It remains a key piece in today's tech and defense R&D efforts. EO 10104, Protection of Vital Military and Naval Installations. A Cold War directive to limit dissemination of sensitive information and the foundation of many of our modern national security protocols. EO 10111, establishing the CIA seal. It wasn't just about a seal, it symbolized the maturation of America's modern intelligence apparatus, which today stands as one of our strongest global assets. EO 10161, delegating authority under the Defense Production Act. This empowered the federal government to control industrial production in support of national defense. During COVID-19, this very act and Truman's framework was invoked to speed up the manufacturing of critical supplies. Establishing Order 10186, the Federal Civil Defense Administration, in a time of nuclear threat, Truman created this to prepare civilians. Today, FEMA and our emergency preparedness structures owe their roots to this executive order. EO 10195, designating Korea as a combat zone, not just administrative. This formally recognized the sacrifice of Americans in Korea, ensuring their service was acknowledged and supported. Executive Order 10193, mobilization for government effort. As Truman expanded America's commitment in Korea, this EO streamlined how government agencies would support the war effort, foreshadowing our mobilization structures in future conflicts. EO 10163, establishment of the Armed Forces Reserve Medal, honoring service members in the reserve. This award represented a growing appreciation for readiness and deterrence during the Cold War. EO 10159, implementation of the Act for International Development. This moved us toward structured foreign aid, a diplomatic tool we still use to support democracies and strategic interests abroad. EO 10126, airspace reservation over Washington, D.C. It might seem minor, but in the age of atomic bombers and espionage, securing the nation's capital from the skies was and remains vital. 1950 wasn't just a year of war and regulation, it was a year of hard choices. President Truman was criticized from every direction. Some said he did too much, others not enough. But what no one can say is that he shirked the weight of the presidency. He owned it with grit and accountability. He dealt with racial inequality, labor strikes, Cold War nuclear anxiety, and the birth of a modern national security state all at once. And through it all, he held to a principle that I, too, believe deeply in. The buck stops here. Truman's leadership in 1950 carved the path that we now walk from intelligence to defense production, from civil protection to global democracy promotion. And while some policies evolved and others required reform, the spine of his vision remains intact. As we wrestle with new global tensions today in Europe, Asia, and cyberspace, we carry forward the institutional memory of leaders like Truman, who made sure that America would not just survive, but lead. Thank you. And now, let's take a deeper look at how President Truman himself saw this pivotal year.
Some write history with blood, some with laws, but the sharpest stroke comes from the pen. Executive power ain't just a tool, it's a weapon wielded by the few, affecting the many. They sign it, we live it. They order it, we obey it. Here, watching, digging, remembering, from the plantation to the proclamation, from internment camps to civil rights stands, from surveillance laws to student loan draws. Order can change your life, and you might not even know it, but now you do. So stay locked in, stay woke, stay sharp. We ain't just talking about power, we tracking it. Executive Order Watch, and we ain't blinking.